NATO is on the verge of launching its annual nuclear exercise, Steadfast Noon, next week, a critical two-week drill focused on ensuring the security and readiness of the alliance's nuclear arsenal. Led by the Netherlands, the exercise will feature 71 aircraft from 14 NATO member states, prominently including nuclear-capable jets from both the United States and the United Kingdom. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte underscored the exercise's importance, emphasizing the need for a credible, safe, and secure nuclear deterrent. His statements sends a powerful message that NATO is fully prepared to defend all its member states against any form of threat. It is important to note that no live nuclear weapons will be deployed during the exercise, which is scheduled to take place over the North Sea and at key military installations in Belgium, Britain, Denmark, and the Netherlands. This exercise comes at a time of heightened global instability, where the role of nuclear deterrence is under increasing security scrutiny. The drills are designed to test and refine the alliance's capabilities in a hypothetical nuclear scenario, ensuring that operational procedures are robust and that communication channels remain clear and effective among participating nations. The sheer scales of the exercise involving numerous aircraft and countries reflects the complex logistical and strategic planning required for such a heightened stakes demonstrations of force and preparedness. In a move that has reignited fears of a new arms race, Russian President Vladimir Putin has declared that Russia will resume nuclear testing if other nations proceed with similar actions. Speaking from Dushanbe, Tajikistan, Putin characterized the current global climate as a real race and affirmed that Russia would respond in kind if nuclear tests were conducted by other powers. He framed potential testing as beneficial for security and urged the United States to extend the New START treaty for at least 1 year. These remarks represent the most pointed nuclear signal from Moscow in several years, evoking memories of the tense Cold War era brinksmanship. The implication of Russia potentially resuming nuclear tests are profound, as such a move could dismantle decades of international arms control efforts and could prompt a dangerous cycle of reciprocal actions from other nuclear power. Putin's insistence on extending the New START treaty while simultaneously issuing a threat of renewed testing highlights the complex and contradictory stance aimed at both asserting Russia's nuclear capabilities and seeking a measure of stability through existing agreement. The international community is closely watching these developments, concerned about the potential for further destabilization of the global strategic landscape. Despite earlier commitments to decrease reliance on Russian energy, Europe's imports of Russian oil significantly increased in 2025, raising serious questions about the European Union's adherence to its own sanctions. A Reuters report from October 10 revealed that 7 EU member states expanded their purchase compared to 2024, with total imports surpassing $12.7 billion in the initial 8 months of the year. France, for instance, experienced a 40% year-on-year surge, importing $2.5 billion worth of oil, while the Netherlands import saw a 72% increase, reaching $579 million. Other nations, including Hungary, Belgium, Croatia, Romania, Portugal, and Slovakia, also boosted their intake of Russian energy, with Hungary and Slovakia together accounting for a substantial $5.8 billion. Analysts have cautioned that this continued flow of Russian oil directly undermined the EU's state goal of weakening Moscow's ability to fund its military efforts. The issue is further complicated by long-term contracts involving major companies like Total Energies, Shell, and Gunvor, which are reportedly set to extend into the 2030s and 2040s. France has also been cited as a transit hub, allegedly forwarding supplies to Germany, thereby exposing potential loopholes within the existing embargo. The United States, through figures such as former President Donald Trump at the UN General Assembly, has openly criticized Europe for indirectly financing Russia's war, describing the surge in imports as a form of self-sabotage. This situation underscored the significant challenges and economic complexity involved in maintaining comprehensive and effective sanctions against a major energy producer like Russia, especially when alternative energy sources or infrastructure are not fully developed or integrated across the continent. The economic incentives and existing infrastructure often create powerful pressures that can undermine political objectives. In a notable development on the diplomatic front, First Lady Melania Trump has revealed she maintained an open channel of communication with Russian President Vladimir Putin, specifically concerning the welfare of children impacted by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. This direct communication, according to Melania Trump, has already yielded tangible results, leading to the reunification of 8 children displaced since Russia's invasion of Ukraine within the past 24 hours. Concurrently, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a new 100% tariff on China, a measure enacted in response to China's expansion of export curb. President Trump also declared that the U.S. would implement export controls on any and all critical software, with these additional levies taking effect from November 1st. Furthermore, Donald Trump has threatened to cancel an upcoming summit with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping, which was scheduled to take place at the APEC summit later this month. He explicitly stated that the tariffs were a direct retaliation for Beijing's extraordinarily aggressive move, referring specifically to China's expanded restrictions on rare earth mineral export. China, in turn, defended its curb, asserting they were necessary to safeguard its national security and interests. President Trump characterized China's stance as very hostile. These intertwined developments highlights a complex and evolving global political landscape, where humanitarian efforts, trade disputes, and strategic rivalries are all playing out simultaneously. The direct engagement between First Lady Melania Trump and President Putin on a humanitarian issue contrasts sharply with the escalating economic tension and threat of trade wars between the U.S. and China. The U.S.'s strong reaction to China's export control signals a growing pushback against what it perceives as protectionist or strategically motivated economic policies, which could have significant implications for global trade and technological supply chains. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. Given the escalating rhetoric around nuclear testing from Russia and Europe's continued reliance on Russian energy despite sanctions, do you believe these intertwined factors are pushing us closer to a full-blown global conflict, or are they merely strategic posturing in a new Cold War? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.